Hello, Packers fans, and this is the Pack Attack Cast. We're here to summarize day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Finished up just about 30 minutes ago, so I want to take a look at the players that the Packers took in day 3. Also want to take a look at some of the film on some of these players. Pretty interesting stuff for us to go over here today. So, our first pick of day 3 was Darren Serell of Texas, 6'3", 256. We're going to take a look at some of his tape in a minute. This is a player that was rated in the top 100 on many draft boards. So this is a very good value here in the 4th round. And as you could see, he was actually in Green Bay. We're going to watch the tape of his selection, which is pretty special. This is an edge that can put competition in our edge room and also provide valuable depth. So I really like this selection. We're going to go through some of his tape in a minute. We're just going to go through everybody's tape at the same time. Next pick in the 5th round, we took Collin Oliver, 262, 240 from Oklahoma State. He only played 80 snaps in 2024 due to a foot injury, but he is another edge player. Right now he was announced as a linebacker, so we're going to have to see what happens here. He can be used as a situational pass rusher off the edge on the defensive line, or he could be used in a linebacker position. He's a very speedy, aggressive tackler. So it's going to be great linebacker depth. It's going to be a special teams player. Potentially he could be providing a backup for our speedy, rangy linebackers in the event that he needs to come in for a couple plays or a couple days. So I think Collin Oliver is a great pick and good value in the 5th round. Let's take a look at Darren Robinson. Sorry about that, Darren. Bronson. I got to get used to saying that name. He only played 8 games in Georgia. He's a defensive tackle. He's a versatile defensive lineman who flashes on tape. He stacks blocks and sheds in time to make plays between tackles. So this is a 6th round pick with a lot of upside. So that is definitely a Packers pick right there. In the 6th round, you're throwing darts. You're trying to find some gold. And maybe Darren is that diamond in the rough in the 6th round. Then we have Micah Robinson, the first cornerback of this draft, which we should talk about later on. Kind of interesting to see the Packers wait until the 7th round to take a cornerback when that was one of their biggest needs in this draft. It turns out a lot of the top corners had some significant medical issues that caused the Packers to go in other directions at cornerback. So Micah looks like he's going to be a prospect for special teams and development, maybe get on the practice squad. We'll see what happens. And a very interesting pick with our last pick in the 7th round, we picked up John Williams from Cincinnati as an offensive tackle. Now, he was an offensive tackle at Cincinnati, but he's projected to be a guard for the Packers. So, as you'll see from the tape, he had some problems with leverage, especially when he's left out on an island. But I think he has a really good chance to stick as a guard for the Packers. We'll see what happens here. He is a 7th round pick. So let's take a look at some of the tape that I could find on these players. It's a little harder to find tape for these late round draft picks. So let's take a look at first Darren Serell. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. And this was an interesting story because he actually was in Green Bay. He flew in on his own dime. So it's very unusual to have a day 3 pick on the stage. So this was a a great pick and a great moment for Darren and the Green Bay Packers. So let's just watch this tape. It kind of speaks for itself.
With the 124th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Darren Serell, defensive end, Texas.
This is a blessing. I'm so happy I'm here. Go Pack, go. That's all I can say. Let's do it.
Love that. I love that right there.
Let's
take a look at some of his highlights here.
Back, tackled for a loss by Darren Serell.
So thankful for the opportunity that this organization has given me. I'm disciplined, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to make plays.
Nice sack there.
Gobbled up, taken down.
It's pretty simple. The ball snap, you got to go get them, and that's just a certain mentality that you have to have by any means, is just go get the quarterback.
Right into the arms of Darren Serell.
It feels great. I mean, just walking out on the field, I could feel the energy. I could feel the fans' energy, and I'm just ready to
He does a Lambeau leap. I love that. This guy just feels like a Packer, so I'm very excited about him. As you can see there. And let's take a look at Collin Oliver. I took his tape from 2023 when he was fully healthy. So let's take a look at what Oliver brings to the table as a linebacker and as a pass rusher. Right off the edge. Nice sack there using a speed rush. Another sack there. Bull rush move. Oh, quick move to the quarterback there, using his speed. So this is definitely a speed rusher, 100%. See if we see anything in the tape for linebacker ability here. There he is in coverage with a tackle. And another sack off the edge. So in what I saw from what the Packers had to say about this selection, they definitely see him as a designated pass rusher and as linebacker depth and as a core special teamer. Lots of good stuff here. Another sack. This is some valuable depth, especially this late in the draft. All right, let's take a look at Warren Bronson. Let's take a look at the tape here. Nice tackle in the backfield there. Look at him taking on multiple blocks. Exactly what you want to see in the defensive line. Pushing through, stopping the runner. Really nice. I'm going to let this run. I'll be right back. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, nice tackle there. Nice pursuit. Coming off the edge. He looks like he does have the ability to come off the edge as well. Lots of pressure here. So this is a guy who can move the pocket, get some pressure. Like to see more finishing moves on these sacks, but definitely a nice depth piece on the defensive line, which we definitely needed. Yeah, this is definitely a run-stopping defensive lineman with the ability to put additional pressure on the quarterback. This is not going to be a sack defensive lineman. It's going to be stopping the running back at the line of scrimmage and putting additional pressure on the quarterback in the pocket. Nice. All right. All right, so this is an interesting one. I wasn't able to find any good tape for Micah Robinson, but we do get to see our friend Tom Grossi actually do the selection on the stage of the NFL draft. Let's go ahead and grab this because it really is a great moment for Tom. Big fan of Tom, and it really encompasses everything Green Bay is about. So let's go ahead and just roll this tape. Tom Grossi on the stage. Big fan.
Green Bay, Wisconsin, how the hell are we doing? I fell in love with this team when I was 6 years old, and 28 years later to stand in front of you in Green Bay to announce the Packers pick. It doesn't get better than this. I appreciate the hell out of you. With the 237th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay mother-loving Packers select Micah Robinson, DB, Tulane.
All right, just a great moment there for Tom and the whole crowd there. Really love to see that. Let's take a look at John Williams, our last pick in the 7th round. There's a lot of potential here for this player for a 7th round pick. Very excited to see what we could get out of this player. Nice block there to spring the running back for a big play. Going out in traffic, making blocks in the running game. Really love to see that. We're definitely seeing a nice trend with Green Bay in this draft about getting big offensive linemen that can help in the running game. Nice. He has the ability to succeed at both tackle and guard. I really love that tape there. So let's go back to our draft summary and talk about what this draft really means for the Green Bay Packers here. So, obviously we got Matthew Golden in the 1st round. And the addition of him and Savon Williams in the 3rd round is definitely putting our wide receivers on notice that they're going to have to play. They're going to have to fight in practice for playing time, and they're going to have to make plays to get onto the field. Definitely some welcome additions to the wide receiver room. So And for offensive line, the addition of Anthony Belton plus the later selections definitely are telling the offensive linemen that they're going to be competing for their jobs in 2026. So offensive line is going to have to continue to exceed at a top level to continue to get playing time. Now, the biggest thing that came out of this draft for me at the end of the draft is the fact that we picked one corner in the 7th round. Now, that really tells me two things. Number one, the value didn't come to the Green Bay Packers for cornerback. They went in other directions. Number two, they have to feel fairly good about what they have in the building right now. And number three, can we find a solution for Jaire Alexander to remain a Green Bay Packer? Now, the team is going to come in next week for their first mini camps. I expect Jaire will be there because he does get a bonus for showing up to mini camps. So the question is, can they get into a room and come up with a solution? Because right now, Jaire Alexander and the Green Bay Packers are going nowhere. In order to trade Jaire, he needs to renegotiate his contract. In order to stay with the Packers, he probably has to renegotiate his contract, or they can meet somewhere in the middle as far as his compensation, and he can remain a Green Bay Packer. Now, I think it's going to be very interesting next week to see what happens in this situation, to see if the Green Bay Packers can actually get to the point where they can coexist with Jaire Alexander. Either renegotiate his contract, find a way to keep him on the team. I think those are the only two options. The Packers have been adamant that they're not going to release him unless they get some sort of compensation from another team. So we're going to have to watch very closely to see what happens with the Packers next week with Jaire Alexander. There is an opportunity for him to stay with this team. I would rather have Jaire as a part-time starter, maybe on clear passing downs to keep him healthy, than to have him leave and get no compensation for his departure. I think the Green Bay Packers feel the same way, and I don't know if there's going to be any opportunity for them to get value for him after the draft. So we're going to have to see what happens here. Congratulations again to all the new Packers that got drafted today. We're going to be back tomorrow, and what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to take a look at each of the player rooms for the Green Bay Packers after this draft, try to figure out where the new players fit in and the pathway for those rooms in 2025 and 2026. Because this draft is not just about 2025, it's about how these players are going to impact the team next year. So on that note, we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Pack Attack Cast. We're going to start looking at the wide receiver room first of all, and to see how the addition of Matthew Golden and Siobhan Williams is going to shake up that room. In addition to that, we'll probably look at the offensive linemen and see how the additions from this draft are going to impact things. Then the next day, we'll start looking at each position and look at what we're looking at in 2025 and 2026 at each position. We should also see some unrestricted free agent signings. I do expect the Packers to have a small undrafted free agent group. It's going to be small because the Packers already have so many returning players, plus 8 players from the draft. They might go after some select players. One thing the Packers did not do in this day 3 of the draft was select a quarterback. So if you're looking for players that can actually be unrestricted free agents and come on and have a position on this team, look for them to bring at least one quarterback in as an unrestricted free agent. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Pack Go.